right, hello everybody abroad. Welcome to Thursday, April 1st. I just quit my job and I'm no longer a teacher, so this will be my last recording. A lot of things happen over this time period, and April Fools! Oh man, I got you good. You should have seen your faces. Oh my gosh. Whew, that was a good one. Oh. All right, so today we need to go over our answers to our Chinese graphic organizer. We need to go over, watch the video, watch the video, the hidden cost of our clothes, and go ahead and introduce the true cost of our fashion worksheet. This may be a little bit longer video, so bear with me. So first of all, the answers are located on the web page now. So answers to the Chinese reading, you should be able to click that. It'll take you to, not that page. Nope. Answers, here we go. Answers, it'll go through this document. So going through the Communist Party of itself, who has power? The Communist Party itself does. You know, there's over 3,000 members, over 93 million members in the Chinese Communist Party. It's the largest political party in the whole world. They have lots of influence over China and its people. Secondly, how they get power? Have to member recommend you. You go through checks and exams and then a 1-year probation of training and exams in order to be in the Communist Party itself. How do they use it? They influence many aspects of people's lives, like school, what you learn, what you see, what you're allowed to do. They set the rules, they pass the laws, and the Communist Party is the ones who get to do that. The Politburo, one of the most influential parts of the government, 24 members with a 9-member standing committee, are the most important. They're elected by other high-ranking communist officials, and they make every significant decision in the Chinese government. So the Politburo is very, very important. They also pass down legislation to the People's Congress. The Discipline Commission, they're appointed by the Communist Party. They are members of the Communist Party, and what they do is arrest, imprison Communist Party members, or people in some cases, for corruption or breaking up with the party or not following party rules or guidelines. Just in their walks and daily lives. Party elders, they're retired ex-high-ranking communist officials. They still hold weight over the people that used to hold their very own jobs. And if you think about how China has not changed since 1949, there are still World War II veterans alive today. And World War II ended in, 1945. So 1949, the China Communist Party took over for the People's Republic of China. And they have essentially had influence in China ever since. So when you talk about why things haven't changed a whole lot, or why influences of the past are still prevalent today, those elders or those elites in the Communist Party still have large influence over policy and who gets hired into the Communist Party. They help their supporters get appointments within the party, and they influence over existing communist officials the jobs that they once had. So that's how they influence their power. Central Military Affairs, it's the 11 Communist Party official and senior generals. They're appointed by the Communist Party, and what they do is they run the armed forces, they control the border, they guard government buildings. So like during COVID, they would have been on the streets making sure people were only out if they had proper identification or reason to be about. Otherwise, they were locked in their homes to help not spread COVID-19. National People's Congress. In essence, the Communist Party controls them because you have to be essentially, 70% of the elected officials are Communist Party members, but it literally falls in the hands of the people who are there and the people who vote. The regular Chinese people vote these delegates in. So there's over 3,000 delegates in the National People's Congress, 70% of which are Communist Party members. They get power by winning elections in their local districts, very much like we run. Most candidates are vetted, so they're all pretty much in line with the Communist Party, even if they're not. So like if they're an independent, for example, they're not going to be very extreme. They're going to follow maybe most of the guidelines of the Communist Party and maybe differ in a few things, but not a lot. And then they pass laws and change the Constitution. The problem is the Communist Party sets a standard. They pass it down to the Politburo, and the Politburo then gives it to the People's Congress to sign, essentially. So they call it, in essence, a rubber stamp Congress. And what that means is pretty much everything that goes through there gets passed. So not a lot changes. State council, high-ranking Communist Party members appointed by the Communist Party. They run all aspects of government. One of the most important things is the economic plan. That's how every dollar gets spent in China for the remainder of the year. And then courts and prosecutions, the people who has power. It's the judges, prosecutors, and civil servants, lawyers, right? Appointed for the highest level of government, from the Politburo to the party elders to the president himself. And they enforce China's laws and prosecute criminals based upon essentially what the Chinese Communist Party wants. All right, so take your time, and if you missed any of those, make sure you fill them in with the answer and turn it in. This is more of a completion credit. I want you to understand and know how these parts of government work together. This will also be a use for study for later when we take our quiz. All right. The next thing we want to look at, and this also can be found in our course modules, number 6, all the way down at the bottom, the true cost of fashion. All right. So when you click on that, it's going to give you directions that says this assignment students will look through 3 articles and 3 videos before completing a hands-on activity called My Tags. This is where we see where our clothes come from. For the My Tags activity, students will look at items that they own or have on their persons and fill out the chart provided. Try to fill on all spaces and do some research on how much an item might cost retail. If you can't find that answer, it's not a big deal, but we'll take both today and tomorrow to complete these parts. So click there. It should give you the worksheet, and this is what it will look like. All right, so we have articles of interest. You have an article on that we looked at yesterday from the BBC and how they're kind of censoring H&M and Nike right now. The environmental impact of our clothes, just what happens with all of the wastewater, the chemicals, the dyes, the processes used to grow our fashion, and how do you tell if a company is ethical? So look through that website and see if you can pick up those 4 points. Next one is labor rights and laws. There's a YouTube link, or you can go to the website. It may talk a little bit about the video, give you background of it. Second, the hidden cost of our clothes. This is what we viewed in class today, so this is a really important video, all the way up till about 7 or 8 minutes. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but it really goes into detail on what the hidden price tag is for our fashion. Lastly, Nike living wages. Nike claims to pay their people in Indonesia a living wage that work at their factories. In essence, this guy does a little video to test it out. This was several years ago. Nike's done a better job of trying to provide living wages for their individuals that work in their company, but isn't always successful in that. Now, for the My Tags activity, for today, all I want you to do is try and list items that you have in or around your house. Or on you. So look at the tag of your shirt, look at the tag of your jeans, your shoes, list what the item is. If you know exactly what kind of shoe yours is, like a Nike Air Force One or whatever, put that down, and then where is it made, and put down the retail cost if applicable, if you can find it. Okay, so do that with, there's roughly 10 slots on here, 10 items, and what we're going to do Friday is do a little review on that and where they were made. For the Google Drive assignment, what I want you to do is take your item and where it's made, and I want you to plot it onto our map. Okay, so I've done this with a few of my items. So I've done a Nike pullover jacket. Okay, so that one is located actually over here in Indonesia. Sorry about that. We had somebody walk in. So it's made in Indonesia, so I literally Googled Indonesia, put it on the map. I just added the point. Now I changed this to make it look like a football because it was a football jacket. How you do that is you click on the paint bucket. I can change the color, and I can also change the icon. One thing that's cool, so if I have sweatpants or a sweatshirt that's made in Pakistan, what I want to do here is label this point. I'll label champion sweatshirt, and it was made in Pakistan. I can save that. Once I save it, then I can edit this style. Now, what I can also do is do a custom icon. So I can go to Google Image Search, and I can say so that's what kind of sweatshirt I like to wear, champion reverse weave sweatshirt. So if I find the one that I like, I'm going to click on that, I can hit select, and that will actually do a customized icon of what my product actually looks like, and it will go on the map just like that. And when people click on it, they'll know exactly what it is. Now, because that's not a real thing of mine, I'm going to delete it. And that's how you add all your 10 things onto the map. So what we're going to have in the end is a whole world view of where all our stuff comes from. I also had jeans that were made in Mexico, and I had a Ticonderoga pencil that was made in Hawthorne, Florida. So I looked up the actual company and where they were located. So that's what we're doing today. Tomorrow we'll do a little journal writing, and then we will continue with our activity if you did not get a chance to finish or watch videos or view videos. So you guys have a great Thursday, and we'll see you all again tomorrow.